actually get here.
This town is in its best years, and my friends are just a message near, and we could hang out and be entertained, but just one wrong move and we'd all go insane. But that won't happen. So long as we keep on talking, we'll just ignore all the news, as if our world isn't hostage. We kept creating, we kept loving and hating, but behind those closed doors they thought we weren't worth saving. You might call it a ghost town. This was my home, it's not my home now. It's lost and alone in all these memories, falling apart, and you might call these crumbling stars. They just stripped me from my only escape. All the kids at school, no, they don't get my taste, 'cause I'm the outcast of outcasts in this whole place. And now I'm stuck in my head with nowhere to escape. And you made promises that you couldn't hold, and now all thanks to you, just like my friends, I'm alone. And you can't do that, but what do I know? You took away the only thing I call as a home. The fragments of stars keep falling apart. Finding the pieces may prove to be hard. The fragments of stars left shards in my heart. You won't find my home because they tore it apart. You might call it a ghost town. This was my home, it's not my home now. It's lost and alone in all these memories, falling apart, and you might call these crumbling stars. It's been about 10 years. Time flies by. Don't you wish you were back to those good times when you were up all night to make that last moment work? But then just look at us now. Isn't nostalgia the worst? 'Cause it's a ghost town. This was my home, it's not my home now. It's lost and alone in all these memories, falling apart, so you might call these crumbling stars. You might call it a ghost town. This was my home, it's not my home now. It's lost and alone in all these memories, falling apart, and you might call these crumbling stars. You might call it a ghost town. This was my home, it's not my home now. It's lost and alone in all these memories, you might call these crumbling stars.
Alright, hello everyone, how's it going? How are y'all doing? I am excited for this stream. Yippee, yippee, hello Les Mod, Phantom Orion, XO, Rod Anims, YT, J Not Okay, Mr. Mystic. Hello. Hope you're all doing well. Today I kind of wanted to do a stream. Oh, it's not quite angled right. It needs to be more centered. There we go. I wanted to do a stream where I break down everything on Crumbling Stars. How you still accepting entries for Stuntman? No, I am not accepting any more entries for Stuntman. Stuntman is done, and it will be premiering this Saturday. All right. I'm not, but it won't stop me from being here. Oh, I'm sorry. Well, I hope this stream makes your day a little better then. Alrighty. So I believe should we wait a little bit, or do we just want to dive right into it? I think we dive right into it, right? All right. So this project, I believe this started. God, when did this project start? This project started. April 25th, and we kind of rushed it out in a month, and I think it ended up being probably my favorite song I've ever made, and it seems a lot of people share that same sentiment. So we're gonna break it down. I'm gonna start with breaking down the music, then we'll get into the lyrics. We might do a little break in the middle to take care of questions, and then I'll get into the visuals for the music video. So it's definitely my favorite song from you. Thank you. I think I outdid myself in this one. I think because it got to a point where once everything was done and I didn't watch it for a few days, I watched the video and just tried to put myself in the perspective of someone watching it from the first time. And I didn't quite cry, but I was choking up a lot on that ride home. So it was I succeeded well enough to make me emotional, which I think is really hard to do. Just by one piece of content. So let's just dive right into it. So the music, I've been getting into music production quite a bit. Funny thing, I only took like a choir class and I hated it. I didn't learn much from it. So I don't know a lot of the terminology. I know some terminology in terms of music, but I will be trying to use terminology that most of you will know of. I'll try and dumb it down a little bit. Not just because I want more people to understand what I'm talking about, but because it's me. So, all right. So I use FL Studio for all my music. We're just gonna, let's see. I'm gonna go ahead and turn off all of the vocal tracks for now. Yeah, I think we're good there. Yes. It's called what? This is FL Studio. Yeah. So, I guess to start back in late April, I had the idea. In the middle of working on Stuntman, so I already was pretty harsh on time, but I was like, I can't stop thinking about if I made a song for Flipnote Hatana for the 10-year anniversary of its shutdown. And then I just opened up a Google Doc and I started planning it out. I started vocalizing my brainstorm. And then I took that and I shared it with Serial Bulby through Discord, who's in chat right now. The reason I wanted his thoughts on it was because I knew that he likely felt very similarly about the subject. And I just wanted to see what he thought about the project. For those of you who don't know, he is the creator of the June Archive at the Flipnote ARG. He just recently released a few more videos over the last 24 hours, of which I will be watching today in this stream probably, because I have not looked at them yet, and I really want to. So I sent that over to him, had him read it, and he told me it was a good idea and to keep going for it, and so I did. So I had come up with the melody for this in the shower, as I usually do. And I just, so the very first thing that I did in production was just get this little MIDI down. And the original intention was to actually turn this into a trumpet. But because I wanted this song, well, eventually I wanted this song to feel like it came right out of Flipnote, I eventually just ended up sticking with the pure synth, because it just sounded right. If I made it too instrumentally authentic, then it would have felt like it didn't come right from Flipnote. So I think it actually ended up helping out in this case. But then I just added a very simple hard bass.
Pow.
Thank you, Yanero, for the $2. Attended and had bars saying Crumbling, so thank you. Yeah. And then I thought, yeah, it's just missing a little something. Just missing a little bit of something, right? Like it feels too quiet, even though there's a good bass and a catchy synth. So I literally just took went to my SFX folder and just plucked one of my wind files just to see what kind of background noise that would generate, and it felt perfect because it makes it feel very airy and empty, like an empty street, until the hard cut. I think it's fucking fantastic. So then I cut off the wind because I wanted it to feel a little more clean, almost like the wind would be giving you a little bit of a window into what you're about to experience. It's just very simple bass. And then I had on this, what was this? What instrument was this? It was this guy. Right. Oh, I think there's actually 2 instruments in this. Yeah. So there's the main piano and then piano backing. And this one's running off of track 3. So yeah, I just put a basic reverb, a basic delay on it. Nothing too special. I don't think I did anything special with the bass. I might have put like a limiter on it. Yeah, I did a bass boost and then a very tiny amount of reverb. So just enough to make it feel. Because if I turn these off, and that bass feels too electronic, so giving it a little bit of reverb kind of brings it to life. But then also the same goes for the delay over here. It's just completely different. So just to really fill out that audio. But the percussion I usually end up having a very difficult time with. But I was watching some of AJR's breakdown streams and seeing how they get some of their percussion. Usually I'll rely on what I have in the packs here. But very frequently what they do is they just simply record themselves either clapping or hitting something or just making their own physical. They'll record their own percussion outside of like an actual drum kit or something out of a folder. So all of these is just various compilations of me slamming my table, stomping the floor, clapping, and then eventually I'll even start doing some flicking. And initially, this was actually kind of a last-minute change. Was it number 4? Echo clap. Is that it, or was it number 12? It was number 12. So this is initially what it sounded like. But it just felt slightly too empty, like there could have been something, like just a little bit of extra percussion. So I added this delay bank, and all of a sudden it sounds like. So yeah, I think that was an excellent random addition suddenly. Hell yeah. Bum, bum, bum. And then we get the lead right from the beginning. I would just copy and pasted it from the beginning and put it in the middle of the first verse. I forgot about that. Oh man, I love this little bit right here. I love this bit. I'm gonna show us more of this, but let's just give it this. You can also hear the flicking. Fucking hell, I love that shit. So originally, even this is also another last-minute addition, was the little bits of violin. There's only 2 bits of violin that keep getting repeated, but they're very brief, and I love those bits in music where it's fucking. Sorry, I just read a comment in chat that made no sense. I love it. It's just very, very brief, and I love those bits in music where it's it's fucking. Sorry, I just read a comment in chat that made no sense. Sorry, I just read a comment in chat that made no sense. Sorry, I just read a comment in chat that made no sense. Sorry, I just read a comment in chat that made no sense. Sorry, I just read a comment in chat that made no sense. Sorry, I just read a comment in chat that made no sense. Sorry, I just read a comment in chat that made no sense. Sorry, I just read a comment in chat that made no sense. Sorry, I just read a comment in chat that made no sense. Sorry, I just read a comment in chat that made no sense. Sorry, I just read a comment in chat that made no sense. Sorry, I just read a comment in chat that made no sense. Sorry, I just read a comment in chat that made no sense. Sorry, I just read a comment in chat that made no sense. Sorry, I just read a comment in chat that made no sense. Sorry, I just read a comment in chat that made no sense. Sorry, I just read a comment in I love bits in songs, like some of my favorite songs, where they will do something really cool, but they'll only do it once or twice in the whole song. Like it's a very specific part of that song, which is great because if they overuse it, then it just kind of bleeds into the rest of the music. But if it only happens like once or twice, then it suddenly it adds so much juice to it. If you take a pattern and instead of spreading it out through the whole song to make it more full, taking out most of that suddenly makes it even fuller. So I thought randomly in the middle of the stream, I was just listening to it, and then I heard a violin in my head. So I'm like, let me just try and recreate that. Hell yeah. And then over here as well. So those are the only 2 violin patterns that I have in the entire in the entire track. But I repeated them I think 2 or 3 times. But then like as soon as like around the time that the video was getting finished, I came back in here because if we go ahead and turn the vocals on, not those. Yeah, these guys.
Talking, we'll just ignore all the news as if our world is in hostage we kept creating.
And I think even at this point I didn't have that.
Just ignore all the news as if our world is in hostage we kept creating.
But then, oh man, you don't even realize this, but the auto-tune, I didn't even realize I kind of covered up the auto-tune in this a little bit. There's a very slight amount of auto-tune, but it is mostly pure vocals. But you can hear it if you really listen to it.
World is in hostage we kept creating.
It's ugly. It's kind of ugly. So let me make it so that's the only thing you hear.
World is in hostage we kept creating.
Ugh. Ugh. But if I cover it up with everything else,
in hostage we kept creating.
You can't even notice. You don't even notice it. But these man, so these are actually large crashes, weird crashes that I just plucked from over here. It was like this, some weird percussion. And all I did was I just reversed it and then had the cutoff right here because in the lyrics, I really wanted to emphasize these lyrics being, and I also included vocals here of me going, because at this point in the lyrics, it's like getting very anxious, overthinking the dread that's going to come of the website shutting down and losing all your friends and all this history that you're never going to be able to revisit. It's like the thoughts are getting faster.
As long as we keep on talking, we'll just ignore all the news as if our world is in hostage we kept creating.
And then it comes back like, we kept creating. We know that the world is going to end, but we like it anyway. We're just going to have fun and pretend like our world isn't about to crumble. So, and then I just added this last bit because it sounded just slightly empty without it.
As long as we keep on talking, we'll just ignore all the news as if our world is in hostage we kept creating.
It's close. It's very close, but it was missing that really intense feel of anxiety, just really intense. So I took like 2 or 3 crashes, reversed them, and it ended up sounding perfect.
We'll just ignore all the news as if our world is in hostage we kept creating.
Love it. Fucking love it. And then the vocals over here too. These definitely sold the initial effect.
So long as we keep on talking, we'll just ignore all the news as if our world is in hostage we kept creating.
I mean, it's literally me just going like, and getting closer to the microphone to really get that last feeling of anxiety. But I thought it ended up turning out perfectly. But then, yeah, over in the percussion, we have... I just did that and looped it. I think it's the only time in the song that happens. I thought about putting it through the rest of the percussion, but I felt like that's something that just really fits in the beginning, but didn't fit anywhere else. So it's another one of those parts of the music where it only happens once. And then...
They thought we weren't worth saving.
What is this instrument? I called it a tunnel keyboard because those are the words that made sense to me at the time. This was some kind of pad. I don't know. I don't even know what you would call that shit. But it had just the perfect reverb and delay. wind comes back as well. You feel that breeze coming in. And here comes the crashes again. And then this was something that I also did very last minute into the song, were these little blips that go whip, 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 whip. And that was actually just, I had stopped the music at the very end of this, and then I kept hearing that reverb, and I was like, wait a minute, I think I might have something. So then I just took a clip of one of the end of these little crashes right here, and then copy and pasted it. I took a separate segment, and it just is just perfect, because without it, it's just still good, still solid. But then just adds a little extra something. Oh my god, so this is one of my favorite things, was the tunnel key. That's just what I'm going to call it. Just without it, it feels so empty. It was like the perfect thing. Because I knew I needed something else, that was obvious. And for some reason, like, it's just quiet enough. Like, this isn't a key that's like in your face, and I really wanted this chill energy, and I think this is the perfect combination. Then I eventually ended up adding this one that kind of backed it up. You can barely hear it, but it's barely there, but it just makes it. Oh man, and the percussion. Okay, but then here, yeah, the bass. Oh wait, hang on, there was more violin. What the hell? Oh, I think that's just, okay, yeah, no, so that's the same of one of those patterns, but I just dropped it onto the same track because I was lazy. Root Beer, thank you for the $2. I loved Crumbling Stars. Thank you for making my day. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. I'm glad everyone's really loving it so far. I know the brainstorming of this was stressed because for some reason, yeah, thank you again, Root Beer. Some reason my mind thought my mind wouldn't be able to play out a masterpiece like that. It's one of those things where initially my thought process for making music was like, I have this perfect vision of how this song goes in my head, and if it's not that, I hate it. So instead what I did is when I was brainstorming it, I was just like, this is kind of the energy that I want. This is the message that I want to send. I'll just start it, I'll come up with a catchy melody, and then the rest will just come together. And I think it was a brilliant way of processing this entire thing. It turned out perfect. How'd you make the audio sound like Flipnote in the You Won't Find My Home because they tore it apart? We'll get to that. I will get to that in just a little bit. Yeah, I'm trying to think. Did I do anything else with this song?
Crumbling star.
Yeah, I suppose in the lyrics here.
We weren't worth saving.
Yeah, so this one, very simple. I just copied that same vocal, and then I delayed the saving, and then, what was the, don't do that. Don't do that. Fuck you. Ba-ba-ba-ba. So which one is this? That's number 9. Yes, I just added a little bit of a reverb and delay on it. Didn't even add a parametric equalizer. That's about it. It's just empty. It feels like it needs that echo. Brief echo.
We weren't worth saving. You might call it a ghost town.
Really wanted it to sound echoey here in the vocals too. Because if we're talking about a ghost town, we're talking about something that's completely empty, completely barren of any life and meaning. So
you might call it a ghost town. This was my home, it's not my home now.
Thank you for the follow, appreciate it.
And all these memories.
And there's just a whole bunch of reverb on this one. Oh yeah, and then there's just a slight bit of destructor on it too. Moving in just makes it so we only hear the echo. Without the destructor.
Oh no.
It just feels too full. It just makes it feel like it's kind of off in the distance, very off in the... You know what it sounds like. You know what it sounds like. I wasn't going for this, but this sounds like one of those like tornado sirens where they're like giving the message like, don't worry, this is a drill. And you get that very intense destruction sound from the speaker, and then it just echoes out in the entire wasteland that you're in. That's exactly what it sounds like. Oh my god. Yes. Memories calling. It's like the don't panic proceeds to panic fight. Yes, yes, yeah. So I think looking back on that now, because I was debating on whether or not I should tone down the amount of reverb on it, the amount of time that it just keeps going on for. But I think having it stay like that really makes it the ghost town feel empty and barren.
This was my home, it's not my home now. Lost and alone in all these memories, falling apart, and you might call these rumbling stars.
Yeah, also an interesting thing that I did with the lyrics, with the song structure. We'll get back into that later, but I loved the idea of fucking with song structure to something that just does not make sense, but it worked very well here. So usually you'll have like a verse, bridge, chorus, verse, bridge, chorus, and then like a break or a bridge, and then the final chorus gets repeated. That's general idea of how a song structure will be laid out. In this, instead, I had the verse play out, and then instead of having a bridge to connect the verse with the chorus, I just went straight to chorus, but I built the instrumental to make it feel like the chorus was bridging into another chorus. So it was like a disguised chorus. I don't know. I just think it's a really neat trick.
You might call it a ghost town.
Yeah, so, and then eventually later in the song, we do get the actual bridge instead. Which I just thought it was fun to fuck with a song structure like that. All right, so then we skip forward.
They just stripped me from my only escape, all the...
So I did want to add a slight guitar strum here, and I was having someone work on it from the community, a friend of mine, but they didn't actually end up being able to finish in time. They weren't as confident as it seemed that they were. And I went back in here and I tried to see if I could add something to fill that empty sound. And nothing that I was doing was working. So I'm like, maybe this just works if there's nothing there.
They just stripped me from my
And it still works very well.
All the kids at school, no, they don't get my taste. Cause I'm the outcast of outcasts in this whole place. And now I'm stuck in my head with nowhere to
Here we
escape.
go.
And you made promises that you couldn't hold.
Fucking the percussion. The percussion, dude. Oh, and don't get me started on the vocals too. So let me go ahead and bop. Bop bop bop. I love that. Sorry, one sec. I have to tell her that I am streaming. Custom. Sorry, I'm streaming. All right. I just fucking love it. I love it so much. What I did is I had I was both talking with Pseudofox and Serial Bulby. Pseudofox is the creator of Pseudomemo, which is the successor to Flipnote Hatena. And then Serial Bulby we mentioned earlier. I don't know if you're still in chat or not, but he's the creator of the June Archive. So they both actually gave me different folders for Flipnote sound effects. Sorry, just 1 second. Just gonna stop. I get a drink of the. Yes, please get me a drink. That would be awesome. So they both handed me different Flipnote sound effects. So I just kind of incorporated both of them into the same percussion, and it ended up sounding fucking sick. but mixed with the classical percussion. Man, so I used what was it, page turning sound effects. Then I believe some of them are also selecting tools. But my favorite one is the explosion, where here I can actually do it right now. The DSI. Don't know if you'll be able to hear it that well, but I'll try. If I go into Flipnote, it's actually kind of funny. So if you're in Flipnote, say I just draw some random shit here, and then I go in here. No, not quite. So I believe it's actually if I hold X. There we go. Yes, it's just it's an explosion sound effect. It's like a timer, like you're holding X to delete the entire frame. That's all it does. So you're deleting everything off of that one frame. And I thought that worked perfectly for like a much deeper percussion, like a much deeper kick. It's just perfect. And then we get this.
Where to escape, and you made promises that you couldn't hold, and now all thanks to you, just like my friends, I'm alone, and you can't do that. But what do I know? You took away the only thing I call is a home.
All right, but I want to go back here because this is where we get something very Flipnote. Something that only would come out of Flipnote. Usually when I make songs, what I'll do in the backing vocals is I like to kind of AJR it and shift the pitch down. So it's like I love a very bassy feel in the vocals. It complements my deep voice pretty well, I think. But something that a lot of Flipnotes did is that they would record their audio and then they would jack up the speed slightly by like one amount. And that would make them sound very high pitched. And I thought like there's so many people who would make Fred especially something that these people would do was they would speed up the music that they would create specifically for Flipnote. And I don't know why they did it, but that's just something that they did. So it was really high pitched and slightly faster. And I thought that I would just incorporate the high pitch.
Promises that you couldn't hold.
It's very Flipnote.
All thanks to you, just like my friends, I'm alone, and you can't do that. But
yeah, so it's just me singing. And if I were to open up this file, can I play this? Play. How do I get it to play? Oh, whoops. I think we have to give it a bit because it took a little bit for the focus. Yeah, but then if I jack
and you made promises that you couldn't hold, and now all thanks to you, just like
I think actually what this is. Yeah, I think actually what I did was I just took the main vocal, made it a separate track, and then cut it up into the bits where I needed. So I didn't even have to sing extra.
That you couldn't hold, and now all thanks to you, just like my friends, I'm alone, and you can't do that. But what do I know? You took away the only thing I call is a home.
All right. Surprise me. Okay. So we'll hop back up here. Back into the tunnel keyboard.
The only thing I call is a home. The fragments of stars keep falling apart.
Yes, I believe that is pretty much the same thing as it is over
I
here.
call it a ghost town.
Yeah.
This was
So it's the same instruments, but now there's just brand new lyrics over it. So this is the true bridge.
the fragments of stars keep falling apart. Finding the pieces may prove to be hard. The fragments of stars left shards in my heart.
You won't find my own because they tore it apart.
You might call it a...
It's perfect. So as soon as I did this vocal, I came into this one knowing exactly what I wanted this one to look like. I wanted this one to look like it came right out of the False Reporter music video that Fred did, and oh my god, it is my favorite part of the whole music video. It's perfect. Everything about it is perfect. I'm getting goosebumps now talking about it. But it's literally all I did was you'll see it in the stream. I streamed myself doing all the vocals for this song, and all I did was I'm pretty sure I even actually have the file, but I just opened up Flipnote, recorded it, uploaded it to Suno Memo briefly, uploaded it to YouTube, downloaded the audio from YouTube, put that in here, and oh my god, I didn't put any filters on it. This is purely straight out of Flipnote. It came straight from Flipnote, dude. Let me see if I can find the Flipnote actually.
You won't find my own because they tore it apart.
Yes. Yes, I recorded that on the 6th of April. But man, that is that one part of the song is perfect.
Fragments of stars left shards in my heart.
You won't find my own because they tore it apart.
And I knew for that I had to have that be the only thing, but even then I think I added a little bit of wind, oh no I didn't. The wind came I think halfway into it.
Won't find my own because they tore it apart.
You might call it a ghost.
Yeah, but you could barely even tell it's there.
Won't find my own because they tore it apart.
You might call it.
But I love that vocal so much. It is one of my favorite parts of the entire song. And then also to lead back into the percussion.
You might call it a ghost.
It's a page flip, but then I also added the actual frog
You
sound.
might call it a ghost town.
Yeah.
This was my home, it's not my home now. It's lost and alone in all these memories of falling apart, and you might call these crumbling stars.
And here. Yeah, so I knew once I had initially done the backing vocals, what was it back here? These guys, they promises. I knew I wanted to keep reincorporating that. So over the course of the song, you see more and more of the high pitched backing vocals, and it just felt perfect. It felt very Flipnote, like it came straight out of the program. So I believe I have 2 tracks here of me going da 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 da. And that sounds fine, but it doesn't sound Flipnote. I also added the little eraser sounds. Yeah, it's right there. This is perfect. Oh man. Love it so much. It's been about 10. Then for this bit here, I knew I wanted it to get really deep, really intense. Just like you feel this. It's like a kind of feel goody vibe because of the extra backing. You're just like, yeah, I can deal with this. This is nice. I can vibe to this. And then I cut all of that energy. I just completely out.
It's been about 10 years. Time flies by, don't.
So at this point, it's just the vocals with a lot of reverb, wind, and the bass line. That's it. That's all I added here.
It's been about 10 years. Time flies by.
No backing, no extra vocals.
You wish you were back
until we get the high-pitched vocals back in near the end here. But to that point, I also re-added the main lead.
Ghost town. This was my home. It's not my home now. It's lost and alone in all these memories, falling apart. So you might call these crumbling stars. You might call it a ghost town.
It's fucking perfect, dude. Something that I kind of felt like I wanted to do initially, though, was I wanted to add like a loud scream sound right before the chorus comes back up here. But it just didn't work. I think I tried it. Oh, it's not even where it's supposed to be.
I call it a ghost town.
It just doesn't work.
Crumbling stars, might call it a ghost town.
Yeah, it didn't work. I don't know how to do that properly yet. Maybe in the future I'll add something like that. But I just felt like it also wasn't needed. I didn't need a loud scream right before it returned to the regular chorus.
Crumbling stars, might call it a ghost town. This was my home, it's not my home now. It's lost and alone in all these memories of falling apart, and you might call these crumbling stars. Call it a ghost town. This was my home, it's not my home now. It's lost and alone in all.
This right here is, I think, is my favorite part of the song, is the very ending. Just because of the extra backing here that I did.
Crumbling star, call it a ghost town.
Are they both high pitched? On this track, I just pretty much repeated the same tune, da 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 da, and then just repeated that a second time. But something extra fun that I did with the second backing vocal was, oh, that one's actually just me. I just went into my highest octave. I love that sudden raise in the key because it matches perfectly with the regular tune that we had just heard. It's fucking beautiful. I love this song so much. It turned out perfect, dude. It turned out fucking perfect. Hell yeah. Oh, and then even here I had the ooh-ah backing. Ooh, it's like a synth violin. Fuck yeah, I forgot I did that. Yes, that one's, it's not even the one that raises the tune, so. But fantastic. I love how this song turned out. I could not have been happier with it. I might have been able to tweak a thing or two, but overall, like, it's a great song. Yeah, so any questions about the production of the music side of things? I think maybe we can get into the lyrics at the very end, because I feel like that really only appeals to the people who maybe want a little more context on what the song is about. Just asking, how long have you made music? It hasn't been too long. I mean, I started making music for as long as I can really remember. I've at least been singing for as long as I can remember. But I got pretty scared of making music because I lacked that kind of confidence. But then I think around the time that I made I'm Not an Imposter a few years ago, that was kind of the turning point. I was just like, you know what? I'm struggling with this thing, and I feel like the best way for me to express it is to write a song about it and just share it with everyone. And since then, I've just fallen in love with the process again. It's just so much fun. All right, yeah. So that's the music side of things. Let me see if there's anything else that I want to talk about. Before we get into the video. Extra audio.
This town is in its best years, and my friends are just a message near, and we could.
Yeah, so that was the test vocal. Just so like whenever I write the song, I don't like save the melody that I sing it in, because I have it in my head, but I don't really. It's possible that I'll forget it over time, so I'll usually upload just like a recording to Discord on my own private server.
Hang out and be entertained, but just one wrong move.
Something funny to say in this though is I was very sick when I recorded this, so my vocals are not the best.
We'd all go insane, but that won't happen. So long as we keep on talking, we'll just ignore all the news, as if our world isn't hostage we kept creating.
Yeah, so let's take one. Yeah, so that was what someone sent me for whoever was going to do the guitar, but they didn't end up finishing.
You won't find my own because they tore it apart.
Yes, and then what's this? Vocal test 3.
All right, recording session 3 of.
Yeah, so I think this was the full
Stars. I'm
song.
still sick, but I have
sure
the
are.
script written, and I'm pretty proud of it. Here we go. Call it a ghost town. This was my home. It's not my home now.
Was it really, this was my home? Because then it eventually turned into, this was my home.
It's lost and alone in all these memories of falling apart, and you might call these crumbling stars.
Ooh, that's different. Yes, I didn't even realize that. It just changed naturally. So I think that's bound to happen when you're making music. Your first sound isn't going to be what it sounds like when it finishes. It's going to sound very different. Tempo could change, tunes can change, melodies, the structure, everything can change. So it's all the extra audio files that I have, though. So very fun, very fun. All right, so now we're gonna get to the video. This is where Serial Bulby came in to save me. He saved my ass with this one. I don't remember how it came up. I think I just straight up asked him if he had a bunch of flip notes that I could use for this video, and he just sent me a file that has so many fucking flip notes. I wasn't able to even look at all of them. But he sent me this other site that allowed me to convert the pure Flipnote file ripped straight from the DSI, and then not just only display it on browser, but then it gave me download options, quality options. It was fantastic tools. Thank you again. That saved my ass on production. So then I ended up I went through a few iterations of compilation, and I'm pretty happy of how the end turned out. And there's some of these, like this one, where I had to end up taking the last 2 frames of it and just copy pasting it to drag out the video to the exact length that I needed. And you'll also notice these aren't really the right lyrics, are they? No, they're not. But yeah, that's completely different. So none of the lyrics are in here. Absolutely none of them. Except for, let's see. Yeah, so this is the only portion where there's lyrics, because this was custom made. This was all me, baby. I made this in a matter of like a couple hours or something. It was, yeah, I just kind of pushed this out. I mean, I knew exactly what I wanted. I didn't want it to look too polished. I wanted it to feel rough and sketchy. And I felt like it was just the only way to really do it, was to custom make it, to really sell this idea of this kid having his footnotes sitting on his bed, talking with, this is the actual name of a friend of mine from Flipnote Antenna. It just stuck around with me for so long. And then, oh yeah, that's a reference, isn't it? I think this might be a reference.
Now, isn't nostalgia the worst?
Isn't nostalgia the worst? I had such a difficult time delivering that line. I didn't know how to deliver it. I think like some of the iterations was like, isn't nostalgia the worst? But it felt so unnatural. So trying to find the right pacing to deliver this last line was very difficult, but I wanted it. I wanted that June Archive reference, that fuzz reference. And you get the little fuzz face in the background too. I had to sell that reference, man. Because I feel like if I just said, isn't nostalgia the worst, people wouldn't really get the reference unless they, like, were watching the June archive and then right after we're watching the music video. So the smile sold it, for sure. I am convinced. The Walk on Water guy, hell yeah. Is there anything else? Yeah, no, I think that is it. But yeah, this went through several iterations just to get the layout done. This I actually recorded. And this is not the pure video file. I did add some. I'm gonna go ahead and destroy this a little bit. If we just cut and cut, and suddenly it looks a lot more anticlimactic. You see the logo, yeah? You're not supposed to see that.
This town.
So yeah, that's that's the Premiere file. No, do not save that. So then what I did is I plugged that into the media encoder. Well, I first plugged it into Adobe's current media encoder to turn it into a low quality .mov because they don't have an option for FLV. And if you want to put a video directly into Flash 8, for example, you need an FLV. So that's exactly what I have here at the very bottom. So that's how I got the video to play in the bottom here, and that took up a lot of space in the file. But I mean, this was the best way that I could have done that. So, but then at this point, it was setting up the file because at this point I knew I had Stuntman 3 in production. And I had a lot to get done there. So I didn't really have enough time to do all of this on my own. And I knew that I wanted to just implement my lyrics into each of these flip notes. I didn't know how long that would take. So I set up this file for everyone else to help out with. At least several people to help out with. So what I ended up doing is I had this blackout just because I like it. It's nice to just have black everywhere else and block out everything that exceeds the canvas. And then we have text mode. If I hide the blackout over here, then I had an idea of how the lyrics could have been implemented, the actual lyrics for whoever is adding lyrics in these parts. Color key and a boundary. A boundary is for if you don't use the blackout mode, then you have the red square to tell where what is visible and what isn't visible. And then this one's pretty laggy. It's the grid. This is how we ended up moving the pixels at the accurate pace, at the accurate pixel scale. So it's going to take a little bit to load up because a lot of geometry. Oh yeah, if we just zoom in here, we see each individual pixel, and it doesn't quite line up, but this canvas is at the exact size that a flip note would be at. And the only other tool that we really relied on was the freehand pixel tool, which did the rest for us. So. Next would be the text area. So this is just kind of the general area where I think the lyrics would fit. And the two other people, Yanero and Muse Trillion, they didn't have to follow it, but this is just kind of a suggestion of where I think the lyrics would be. So then this was a pain in the ass, getting these fade effects to work. Let me unhide this. Yeah, so these fade effects. Oh my god, it's trying so hard. Essentially what I did was pretty similar to the grid. Is I just actually, here, I could probably, oh no, the entire program's holding up. Fantastic. As I went into fades, and okay, hang on, oh my god, it's killing me. I'm killing it, really. If I go edit, I just manually went in and made the accurate fades. Yeah, I even made vertical and horizontal, but I don't know if we ever actually used those. I know I didn't. I just don't know if the others did or not. But yeah, then I would just I would, if I were to hide the mask here. I literally it's just hang out. It just flips in and out, and that's it. But when you mask these fades over it, it allows only whatever's on those dots to show up. Hang out. And that one coming in. Oh my god, and then getting the fonts to be the accurate size, that was another pain in the ass. I did streams on that though, so if you're really curious about looking that much into it, this is just a pixel accurate text with a mask over it. Or actually, no, I think this was actually just... oh yeah, no, this is just a block of white that covers it up, and then slowly gets less and less until we get the full thing. So... And I saw someone who really appreciated this, these little bits, where this felt authentically childish, which was exactly what I was going for. The news with the Z at the end instead of the proper S. And then what Yanero did later on was, I believe in one of the epic guitar animations. Oh, this one was a pain in the ass because there was no lyrics in this Fred video before, but it just felt right. Fucking block out all that. That one was fun, and then it's like I just added a simple fade effect, but it looks like it just transitions, like the text shifts into each other. A lot of this is just trying to analyze the old animation and trying to replicate that style as closely as possible. This one was just trying to replicate the color and then the shake values. That one was a little irritating to get right. Oh, that's something I messed up on. That's not supposed to be there. Yeah, because this entire stage flips. So that's an error that I'm never going to be able to unsee now. And then we just give the pure flip notes. Here I got to unhide Yanero and Muse's progress. So I can't really break down their work. I think one thing that I would have changed about this one is because Fred animates at 6 FPS and the text here is jittering at 12 FPS. I would have lowered that to half the speed, but still it sells the idea very well. I also went in and added some of my own edits. So this initially just looked like this. And I even added a little outline, a little white outline to make that text stand out. But I was like, you know what? They're getting covered with snow anyway, or whatever this material is. I want to say it's snow. I hope it's snow. So I added a mask. And that's it. That's all I did. I like how you asked for the text that would blend well with the styles of the creators. Yeah, I mean, I wanted it to feel like everything, like all the lyrics were a part of these flip notes. I wanted to feel like this music video came straight from 2013. And that wouldn't have been possible if I just clipped everything together and just put whatever kind of lyrics I wanted. There are a few others that I would have done differently, but we were on such a time crunch that I didn't really ask for many revisions. And it looked great anyway. I don't want to knock them at all. They did a fantastic job of keeping up with that schedule. Yanero and Muse, I have worlds of respect for them. And I really appreciate them for helping me out. This, oh my god. Does anyone on Flipnote remember these backgrounds? Man. Man. Oh, and then these trippy ones. There's always this one and then the spiral. There's always those two. Oh my god. I could stay here for so long talking about just the references and the creators. But we would be here forever. Oh yes, and then here's where Yanero did a funny little thing. Where he did 2B. Instead of T-O-B-E, did number 2, letter B. Such a Flipnote thing to do. 100% authentic to Flipnote. Loved it.
Fragments of stars left shards in my heart.
You won't find my own.
This was the first one that was actually finished. This is the first bit that was actually properly edited. And man, it's perfect. Oh, and then getting this to work. You can tell if you look really closely that the pixels on the original video are just a little blurry, but then mine are just a little too clean. You get also little errors like that, a little angle in the line that's not supposed to be there. And here, all I did is pretty simple, I like to think. So I just masked it. So everything that was in the egg and the splatter, I didn't mask. And there's some clipping in it. It's supposed to be messy. It's Fred. Fred's style is messy, and it's just lovable like that. Oh, and I love the transition here too from the Fred video to suddenly a 12 frame per second music video, like stick figure music video style.
Because they tore it
You
apart.
might call it a ghost town.
Fuck. I'm so happy, dude. I think another important thing to note here was I had to make sure that I blocked out the original text. And that was shockingly easy to do. Surprisingly easy to do. But if I go ahead and hide... Yeah. So it's completely different text. And I didn't do it as fancy because I didn't need to. All I needed to do is show the lyrics, and that's it. Yeah, no, that's fine. Unhide the whiteout. There's one thing here, this frame in specific. I didn't want to. That's my only reason. I didn't want to have to deal with that. So that is one of the small errors. I think one of the three. Oh, now. Yes. Let me get back into Muse's part. This one I think I would have done differently because if we take out the whiteout, we see that it's just plain text, just sits there and then disappears. So I think they went a little too fancy for this style, but still turned out looking great. Can't complain. I think that was one of my notes to them is like just make sure that you're extremely accurate to the style. So, oh, and I see now that they also just like rotated it instead of actually keeping it pixel accurate. So a little disappointed on that, but I mean, I didn't notice until just now anyway, so wish they put a little more attention into detail to that, but ultimately still fine. La 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 la. Oh wait, yeah, this is also something extra that I added, was a neat little transition. These two frames were already kind of there. So then I just had that fade, this little slide fade transition right into the next one too. And I also noticed this like an hour before the video premiered. This text feels too... It feels too perfect. It doesn't feel pixelated enough, you know? And that might just be a me thing. It just feels too perfect. Because, I mean, still, very clearly it is pixels, but... It doesn't feel right. Yeah, and you could probably figure out how we did the rest of this. Yeah, no, I think that was pretty much it for the video. And then I just rendered out the swoof right into the MP4. And that was that. And I call it a ghost town. This was my home. Hello, Mr. Twist. Nice, a long time no see. Can't believe it's been 10 years already. I know, right? It's been 10 freaking years. Oh man, and the reception on this video has been fantastic. This kind of feels like everyone on Flipnote who is still reminiscing on it knows about this video, and I mean it's only got like 1,000 views, and compared to like the entirety population of Flipnote Antenna, it's nowhere near it. But I'm still very happy with how many people saw this and left some nice comments. Axe today. This is Largy. Largy's in the music video. He left a very, very wonderful comment and then expanded on it on Twitter a little bit. And then PseudoFox even announced this to everyone on his Discord server. So, just fantastic reception. I love all the comments that have been coming in about it. It's been great. We could talk about the lyrics a little bit. There's a track sheet. I don't think that's really that interesting, so we probably won't go over that. Oh yeah, things to fix. Can't even get to that. I tried the Flipnote Frog at the very end. It didn't sound right. So, but we'll go into questions a little bit. If you all have any questions, I'll take them. I'll try and answer them best I can. Come on, there we go. And then if you guys want, we can get into the lyrics.
My friends are just a message near, and we could hang out and be entertained. But just one wrong move and we'd all go insane.
I never knew that the original text, there was original text here. It's like how you did that. Thank you. Appreciate that. Yeah. I think we'll take a little intermission. I have to go to the bathroom. Let me get some. I'm gonna get some gaming lo-fi. To keep you all occupied. If you want, you can pile up questions. I'll answer them as soon as I come back. Yeah, I'll be back in 5-10 minutes. Just take a little break. All right, I'm back. Sorry, the main bathroom was occupied, so I had to run downstairs. All right. Cool. What programs did you use for your music production? I use FL Studio. And if you want to hear how all this was composed, you can, once the stream is over, you can watch the beginning of the stream. It's the first thing I covered. Alrighty. Cool. Alright, so I do actually want to spend a little bit of time watching a little something. A silly little something that came out recently. I kind of teased in the beginning. You uploaded 5 chicken wing videos? What the hell? One of them is 6 seconds long. That was 2 months ago. 1 day, 23 hours, 2 hours. Oh. Well, let's watch them. I wonder if anything silly will happen. Surely not. Very faintly off in my right ear. Hi. Hey.
I saw a falling star,
Crumbling star.
so I made a wish. Afraid of death, I wished that I could live forever.
Don't give me that much fucking nostalgia, dude. Just that blink, 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 blink. Man, I remember logging on to Phone Out of 10 and just seeing that new icon over, that's fucking gross. That new icon over the mail button. That's classic. I'd love for Sudamama to implement that. Like whenever you get a comment or something, I'd love that so much. Bum, bum, bum. Why did I do that? We have 3 more. Even more broken. Hold up. Fred's guitar. Are these all versions of Fred's guitar? I feel like I'm missing references here. Ooh. I'll go back to that later. Do not run. Okay. No! No! Damn. Alright, we gotta go back through this. I don't remember the original, but I feel like something missing from here. I don't feel like there's just an empty spotlight. Hot dog. This dude. So many vials among the hot. Well, there's a vial among. I think these are hot dogs, probably. The seahorse. Oh, this is one of the cool things. This is one of the coolest things about this fucking ARG. I love this shit. I'm downloading this fucking flip note. Hang on. 1 second. I'm gonna show you why this fucking ARG is cool as hell. He does one of the coolest things. When is July archive coming out? July. Wow. Incredible. Hang on. Okay, just 1 second. I have to find it, which I think I have him in my favorites. Who's this by? It's a different person. Chicken wing, chicken wing. I found it. Save, agree, SD card. 1 second. We're gonna see what this says. You think it's unreadable. You think it's unreadable, but in fact, it's readable with just a little funny tool called the DSI. That's the wrong. I don't want the system memory. Edit. Chicken wing, hot dog and bologna, chicken and macaroni, chilling with my homies. Here it is. So then... this is going to be easier for me to do this. So say, venge the seahorse snub within you. Fuck does that mean? Rising is closing in. It's a shame. There is nowhere you can run to, I assume. Yeah, that's all it says. True, I feel like there's something there. Nope, it's just that. The only way to identify your remains. True, it sure is. What that means, to explain, is everyone had their own Flipnote Studio ID, and Flipnote Hatena had this thing on Flipnote Studio 3D, which only released kind of. We didn't even get their actual internet community. So, at least not here in the States. It was a strictly Japan thing, even though they promised it outside of Japan several times. But the funny thing is that they had archived everything. Nintendo has the archive, but the only way that you can access your Flipnotes is if you save your Flipnote Studio ID. And if you want to watch your friends' Flipnotes, you save their Flipnote Studio ID. And then they had a functionality on Flipnote Studio 3D, where if you went onto I think it was the Flipnote gallery, you could type in your ID and then watch all your old Flipnotes. So it was the only way that you would be remembered. If you don't have your Flipnote Studio ID, you're gone. Oh, you're gone. You are no more. Okay, well that's that one. So silly.
Chicken wing, hot dog and bologna, chicken and macaroni, chilling with my homies.
あ I love this ARG.
Chicken wing, hot dog and bologna, chicken and macaroni, chilling with my
One sec. I recognize that sword. This is a weird one.
Chicken wing, chicken.
Enough with this blessed flip, please. I don't see the appeal to it. I don't know why you keep reposting and stealing and reposting.
Chicken wing, chicken.
Enough with this blessed flip, please. I don't see the appeal to it. I don't know why you keep reposting and stealing and reposting.
Sorry about that.
And stealing and reposting.
Epic guitar. Oh, I think that's guitar, yeah. So silly. Silly little flip notes. Yeah. Hell yeah. Yeah, I think that's about it. I don't know if I want to cover anything else about how did you download the flip note? I thought it was just on YouTube. So is this website that Serial Bull Me sent to me, where you could upload the pure flip note file and then download it directly from there, the MP4. Chicken wing, hot dog and bologna, chicken and macaroni, chilling with my homies. Yeah. What else can I say? The end of this stream here. You know? I mean, any closing questions, comments about the song? Thank you for watching. Oh, thank you, Bulby. I appreciate it. And I can't wait to keep working with you in the future. It's been real fun. So, just want to say that I love the song. Thank you. Appreciate it. I'm really happy that people love it. Seeing all the wonderful comments coming. What are your thoughts on chicken wings and especially macaroni? They're good. Oh, especially together. Have you had chicken wings and macaroni? Perfect. A perfect meal. A meal fit for kings. Do you chill with your homies? Online, yeah. Chill with them online. All right. Well, I appreciate you all for dropping by. I'm going to call this stream here. I'll be hopping onto my Minecraft server because I want to have fun there. So, yeah, thank you all. Appreciate it. And I will see you all on Saturday for the premiere of Stuntman. Let's fucking go. So I won't be streaming tomorrow, but I will be streaming on Saturday. We'll do some fun little things. Probably an Aggie, play a little bit of Minecraft, and then watch a 40-minute collab. So I'll see you all then. Appreciate it. Bye. Chicken wing, hot dog and bologna, chicken and mac.